Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. I'm going to be a little bit off the wall today, folks, on this video. I'm going to talk a little bit about GESARA, and I'm going to talk about finances, of course, and things of that nature. I've done many videos because, see, this is DK Will Talk About It. And somewhere about your phone will be your wallet, somewhere about cryptocurrencies, particularly XRP, sometimes AMP. Many of them recently have been about the Iraqi dinar, because many are interested in the Iraqi dinar. I am invested in the Iraqi dinar, and then the other things I just mentioned. I've talked a little bit about how the banks are trying to get control of us. I've mentioned in some of my videos about us being debt slaves. I've not failed to share what I think about Georgia Guidestone's New World Order and some of the people who are out to destroy humanity, because I see it, so I say it. And now I'm going to do a video touching on NESARA GESARA again, and I'm going to remind everybody that the Iraqi dinar is just as much tied into what's going on with this as anything else. Step back from the tree and look at the forest and the global geopolitical landscape, and we get to see a better, clearer picture of what's going on. I've shared videos about the battle for economy control between the United States and China, where I believe the XRP token is the nuclear bomb and all that surrounding it. And I believe there's a battle for control by the Bank of International Settlements and the JP Morgans and all of the earth against a new established cryptocurrency. They want to gain control, so they're coming up with central bank digital currencies because they see it's a wave, a revolution that they cannot stop. I see a lot of things. I have a lot of things to say. I can't say them all in one video. But I am speaking right now a bit passionately from the heart because I think people should hear what I have to say. And that's the reason I do this YouTube channel in the first place, because many of my friends who I talk to more regularly encouraged me to do so. So I hope you like and I hope you subscribe. This is going to be a one-take video. I've already tried 3 times and I'm getting a little frustrated that I can't get through this. So y'all going to have to deal with me and my mistakes. Welcome to DK Will Talk About It, but we can't talk about anything until we get started.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Now, I hope the mic does sound right because I have shared this with you before. It's taken from 2016. What is GESARA? What is GESARA? It's the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. That's what it's called. And it says that there's 3 parts to it. Part 1 is global jubilee and debt forgiveness, universal reset of planetary Earth, humanity back to a universal system of common governance and transparent good standing with other member beings of the Galactic Federation, implying that there's other life out there besides that what's on Earth. But we are hearing about the global currency reset. If you will recall, I did a video on that, as well as the terminology calling it the Great Reset, because there is a war going on for control. Because the bad guys who are in control don't want to give it up to the good guys who are trying to do GESARA, but are they? I guess only time will tell. Is it 2 bad guys fighting for control? Is it 1 good guy fighting a bad guy? But there's certainly not 2 good guys fighting for control, because where there is God's Spirit, there's order and there is peace, and there is none. So somebody's fighting somebody, and 1 out of 2 or 2 out of 2 are bad. But in any case, the second part of GESARA is a universal constitutional framework for global governance in all 209 sovereign nations per the signed Paris Agreement. And it starts with the restored public of the United States. The United States is and has and will always be the holdup because they are the big guys. Like I've said many times, and those who know me know I've said it, you can't trade maple leaves for gold leaves. And if there's going to be a move to a gold standard, the big guy has to wait for the little guys to get ready to play with him, because the big guy is not going to be ready to do business with people who come to him for his gold leaves when they only got maple leaves. So the little guy's got to get their gold leaves because the big guy kind of already has them, especially in the United States when they have over 8,000 and some tons of gold. So switching to a gold standard isn't going to hurt them in any case or whatsoever. I think the next one behind them might be Germany, who only has 3,000 and some tons of gold, if that helps put it in perspective. Then the third part, mass human disclosure of both non-humanoid extraterrestrial life in existence on the surface of this planet and throughout our shared galaxy. That explains the Galactic Federation. Whether or not you believe in UFOs and extraterrestrial life and non-humanoid life on Earth, that's a choice that you'll have to make. What I will say, in open disclosure from DK Will, is I don't disbelieve it, and in fact, I know it. Maybe I'll explain that as we go further, but I don't doubt for 1 minute that there is some type of other life forms beyond what we already know or have seen or experienced. But to tie this video in to show that some of the things that are said, I've touched on some of this already, but I'm going to touch on something specific that will show that there's efforts to do this. And I think the battle for control between the good guys and the bad guys is giving narratives that no matter who wins, they get credit for what happens. I'll give you an example right here. Increased benefits to senior citizens and makes them permanent. Now, we know in Iraq there's been a lot of talk about their Social Security program and increasing benefits to what they call retirees and citizens, and we know that's happening in Iraq, but it's also happening here because in the United States there's a new Social Security bill, Security 2101 bill, to expand payroll tax. I'll talk about that in this video as well. I'm talking fast because I got a lot to say, y'all. Just try to keep up, but you can pause if you wish to. But right here it says increased benefits across the board for all Social Security beneficiaries. Well, we know Social Security beneficiaries are often the same thing what Iraq refers to theirs as retirees, because it ensures no one retires into poverty after a full career of work by improving benefits for long-serving, low-wage employees. And as well as that, it improves the cost of living, so it reflects the inflation actually experienced by seniors. By who? By seniors. Increased benefits to senior citizens and makes them permanent. So there's one evidence that this GESARA stuff might have some truth to it, because for one reason or another they're doing it. Now, I could go through all 25 of these and address them, but that would take way too much time. But there's another promise. There's a promise that they say there's going to be universal basic income. Okay? Golden age of Gaia. The links will be in the description. But the second last stop before NESARA and a total change in approach to finances and life. So is there any talk of anybody doing anything like that? Universal basic income? Well, if you look around, you might see right here that right here that House Democrats propose renewing Biden's $300 monthly checks to families until 2025 in social spending program. That, folks, is a description of universal basic income. Although it has a time limit on it, 2025, it is most certainly there. They want to be able to do that and send $300 to everyone with children. Well, the reason I clicked on the other one was because of wanting to tax the wealthy. I'm going to tie that in later. Okay, we'll get back to that. Okay, so is there anyone actually doing universal basic income? Well, the answer to that is most certainly yes. And if I can find it right here, Spain. A minimal vital income will be approved in May. When was this article written? April 2020. Okay, so Spain came up with what they gave a different title to, minimum vital income, but it's universal basic income to single parent households. Alrighty then. There's another one. In Germany, a proposal was submitted in March to the Bundestag petition committee with more than 450,000 signatures in favor of universal basic income. In France, the concept was championed by Benoît Hamon, the Socialist Party candidate in the 2000 election presidential race. He says, I'm trying to, hurry up here, in which he wrote that the strength of universal income is that it remains no matter what happens, and that it is always there when a major crisis occurs. Universal income. So is there some truth to that universal basic income? There probably is some truth to that universal basic income, because it says here makes them permanent. And he said no matter what happens, it remains. Okay, the Finnish is among the nations who pioneered a universal basic income scheme involving 200 citizens who became the first Europeans to receive a monthly tax-free 560 whatever their money called stipend with no requirement to be working. And participants were aged 25 to 58, randomly chosen from people receiving unemployment benefits. So is there any truth to the universal basic income, which is a part of the NESARA, GESARA format? The answer to that, folks, is yes. Here we have another one, which is in great detail and far more recent, speaking on the topic, and it says the end of poverty, the end of debt. The end of debt. Zeroing out all credit card balances and bank debt relief worldwide. Consistent. No poverty, no hunger, no debt, only global prosperity and peace for all. Final wake-up call. NESARA has merged with GESARA. Okay, so I believe what the Bible teaches me. But remember earlier I just talked about gold. They will announce a gold standard once GESARA is announced. All remaining fiat currencies will cash in for gold standard currency. Prepare your minds, folks, because it's coming. However, in the Bible it says whenever they are saying peace and security, then sudden destruction will be upon them. So I don't know how to take that. What I do know is how, as a Christian and a practical, wise person, we should prepare ourselves for whatever comes, keeping in mind that we should keep our relationship with God first and foremost. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again, money it serves as a protection. But let your life be free of the love of money. But are things going on that are consistent with the GESARA plan? Most definitely yes. Most definitely yes. And I'm going to tell you why I think there are some bad guys. And I think most of them are bad guys because, there's Democrat and there's Republican in the United States, and then there's independent. Either way, they're all puppets and they're all under control of one source. And they give you the dichotomy of thinking that you're actually making a choice. And it doesn't really matter what choice you make, as you have seen by the fake ballots and stuff that's going on now that has been revealed. Because it says you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So either you want to face the truth that you're knowing or you don't. That's why the choice to know will be up to you. However, it's most certainly going on. And so why is DK rambling on like that? So I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to put a video out for y'all, and I wanted to talk about some things that I think matter. And I feel like I'm not making as much sense as I should be, so I'll listen to this afterwards before I post it. But folks, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's a battle going on. We are in a war, and just like the Bible says, they took no note. Don't be the ones that take no note. I showed videos about XRP being the nuclear bomb and how the Chinese and the U.S. are fighting for the economy, how it's clear evidence that there have been Chinese spies in the United States government as a part of this war and a part of this battle. And the real question is there any good guys or is there any bad guys? I mean, what's going on? What's really going on? And I can answer that. And I can answer that because the Bible gives wisdom beyond your years. And I got a little bit of wisdom behind my years because I believe what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is that the whole world lies in the power of the wicked one. So it doesn't matter which side you pick. The whole world lies in the power of the wicked one. And the Bible makes a promise that at some point when we pray, we say, Our Father in the heavens, let your kingdom come. Okay, so until that kingdom comes, it really doesn't matter what's going on. All we can do is prepare ourselves for it. This may run a lot of people off, but this is the truth. And the truth will set you free if you stay around and listen. And so if the whole world is allowing in the power of the picket one and he transforms himself to an angel of light, we don't know which side to pick, really. But what we do know is we can see what's going on. And when it's time to make an action or a reaction so that we can benefit our family and save our families, we should take it. And like I said before, since money serves as a protection, perhaps if there's a way you can see that you can fund yourself to be able to protect yourself slightly better. And I add a little caveat to that it doesn't matter how well you protect yourself and how well we protect ourselves. Eventually, we're all going to depend on only one source to protect us and rescue us from what the Bible describes as unless those days were cut short, no flesh would be saved. I believe we're in those days. I believe terrible things are about to happen, and it's going to throw a lot of people for a loop. But if you have faith, you'll be okay. And if this global gold standard monetary system is a part of what the new system that God's going to create and provide, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Do I think so? Not necessarily. But in the meantime, we can prepare ourselves. And you prepare yourselves by paying attention. And so GESARA, as much as it was conspiracy talk in the past, it looks like it's true. They can call it whatever they want. Universal basic income, gold standard money, great reset, global currency reset, it's all going to happen. It's all a desperate attempt to save a dying system. But there's a guy that's going to ride in on a white horse. And he's going to put things the way he wants them. And every time he's ever done that, he uses different nations and people to get it done. And right now, people are being moved into position. The Gogs and the Magogs. So what is DK saying? As much as I cover this information about money, folks, I don't love money. If I wanted to be a rich man, I honestly believe I could have done it a long time ago. I never pursued money. Let me rephrase that. I never pursued riches and wealth. And the reason I'm saying this is because I want as many people as there are that hear my voice to recognize that this is not the answer to your problems. This is not the answer to the globe's problems. This is not the answer to mankind's problems. This is not the answer to our problems. And if you look at it that way, you're going to be grossly disappointed. But if you look at it with what it is, money is a tool, then you'll be okay. Okay? If you look at it for what it is, that money is just a tool, you'll be okay. And if you keep your mind open when stuff like this starts to happen, you won't be thrown for a loop. When stuff like this starts to happen, you won't be thrown for a loop. When stuff like this starts to happen, you won't be thrown for a loop. Folks, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day.